got exposed in the beginning of the second half on both fullback side. Should have probably changed a little bit earlier, but I was hoping that Reeve would come into it, come closer. On the other side, we are dealing there with 21 years and 22 years players in the moment. They have to learn some stuff, and good in the end. Bit of hectic. I don't know what really happened with Matoro with the red card, the yellow card from Daniel. Good, we have to deal with it. It was definitely a hectic game. I don't know. Mango had around, let me say, 44 fouls in a way, being very aggressive, going into it that players got injured. But good, it's something what happened. In the end, 3 points, and soccer is about results. Thank you.
Mr. Maposa, thanks for saying Coach Rhulani. Initially, you just introduced me as Rhulani, but your opposition coach was Coach Middendorp, so I'm also qualified as Coach Rhulani, but thank you for correcting that.
Thank you very much, Coach. Apologies, Coach.
Thank you. Yeah, good advert for football. I think if you minus all the drama and some of the Thuggish behavior, then I think it's a good advert for football. Two very good teams going at each other. Not a good start for us. Unfortunately, we made a mistake that led to an own goal, and they take the lead. We had a couple of chances, hit the crossbar, could have made it level, but they got another situation on the transition and that set piece. They've got the qualitative superiority to cause you a lot of problems, and particularly also with the diagonal ball, they were causing us a lot of problems to Lokovic on the far post on the left hand side, and we structured it a little bit better. We changed some things at halftime to bring a central midfielder a little bit closer to screen, and once we dealt with that, we could pick up second balls, created a few more chances. Fortunately for us, we got the one just before halftime, but it could have been 2-2. Vincent Pule had a chance one-on-one with the keeper, and again, it's our story. Hit the crossbar, hit the upright. And then you go 2-1 into halftime, you change a little bit again, a bit of the structure, and could have been 2-2. But I hear Coach Middendorp saying he doesn't know what happened with the red card. I watched it again, and I think it's not just Mato that should have been sent off. Is real Thuggish behavior. Doesn't belong on the pitch. Is very, very bad football, and it starts with things like even with Katsande's tackle on Fortune Makaringa in the first half, over the top, career-threatening tackle, and Thuggish as well. So those are some of the situations, and those are the situations that I'm talking about. And those things don't belong in South African football. No. Shouldn't be condoned, and we should not accept such things. No. I've got a player bleeding now with a broken nose because he was punched in the face. The Kaizer Chiefs is good enough to beat us on tactics, on personnel, well-coached team, excellent. But not on diving, diving inside with Parker, excellent dive. Not on Thuggish tackles, not on boxing. No, on boxing, we don't train boxing.
You done, Coach?
No, I'm done, thank you.
Thank you very much, Coach. Members of the media, it's your turn now. We will ask you to ask a question. But before that, mention the name of your media house and your name as well. I've got already hands at the top. Where's the mic? But the roving mic, let's start we'll start with you, Belile.
Am I audible?
Let's go, Belile.
Okay. Doesn't look like it's working. It's okay. Coach Rhulani, we spoke about the absence of Happy Jele earlier this week, and how you were going to deal with that. At 2-0 down, especially early in the game, you felt maybe aerially you didn't address the aerial strength that Kaizer Chiefs had, because if you look, especially, they were winning almost every ball aerially. Or was it a case of you had to balance in terms of what do you bring to deal with the aerial strength of Mokwena and Castro?
Yeah, good question, and it's a football question. I've got a lot of respect for the opposition coach. I think he pays attention to detail. The team is well coached, and you could see the plan was there. The reality is that the aerial balls were not coming into the central corridor. They were actually going on an overloaded side on the right. And that is a qualitative superiority. When you talk of superiorities in football, you talk of a qualitative superiority. I mean, Norkovic is 6 foot something, Mabaso is 5 foot something. So obviously, even if you talk about Uhepi, no, it's not in that position where we were struggling with aerial balls. It was in the fullback positions, and you could see even the plan in the second half. Once they took off Castro, Norkovic then went to try and gain again qualitative superiority on Paseka Marco on their right hand side and our left. But that is how football is. It's a game of chess. You read some of the things, you read the movements, the plans, and you try to come with solutions to be able to deal with it. You can't stretch the player and make him taller, but you can maybe make a few more adjustments from the midfield to put a bit more screening and a bit more protection. So no, I don't think the centre backs lost a lot of jewels. I think the jewels were more from diagonal balls that were well created, and you can see that it's a coaching element. So that you've got to credit the coach for.
Thank you very much, Coach. We'll move the mic. Thank you.
Mark Australia, Tisa Blackstar. Both coaches, just first of all, I think kudos for 2 amazing derbies. We can obviously see the tension that exists between you. I mean, that's got a build up of a week. But in terms of the football on the field, there might have been some thuggishness, but in terms of what the fans saw, they've probably not enjoyed a derby like this, particularly 2 derbies for a long time. So I'd hate to put water on the fire because everyone here wants me to stoke the fire. But basically, I mean, if you don't see eye to eye off the field, on the field, there seems to be some kind of grudging respect in terms of the football that's played. If I could just ask that, and just, yeah, well done on 2 great derbies. Thanks.
Is there a question there?
Yeah, is there a kind of a grudging respect on the field for the opposition coaches' football, because it was really good football?
Thank you very much. I hope the 2 coaches got their comment. Do you want to make a comment on that, Coach?
Yes. If you're in a game, sorry, it's nothing to talk about. You have to kiss each other, or you have to go out. You do the preparation starts 3-4 days before. Then the 90 minutes are getting heated. Whatever you do intentionally or whatever you provoke, or that's something what happened. And some coaches are taking it, and sometimes you need an hour longer, or you need a day more to eat it, to process it. And but I have already a friend. I don't need another one.
Thank you very much, Coach. Coach Rhulani, you have a comment on that?
No comment.
Thank you, Coach. We'll move along. That was the last question that I allowed it to be expanded that far. Please straight to your question, name and so forth, because I think we've got many hands today.
Coach Rhulani, you spoke about the Thuggish behavior, stars here.
Oh,
Was this Thuggish behavior on one side or both sides? Because we don't have the benefit of the place from where we're sitting.
yeah, but you tell me, you watched the match.
But this is the place.
Yeah, but you watched the match. You saw the match. You saw the match. And really, to be honest with you, I try my level best to control my emotions. Normally, I invest a lot in terms of reading on emotional intelligence, and I try very much to control my emotions. And yes, like Coach Middendorp says, some of us, maybe we take an hour or 2 or 3 or 4, and maybe we take a week, but it's okay. You know, it's, the reality of the situation, unfortunately, is there was thuggish behavior, and we cannot condone that. That does not belong to South African football. We can't go back to times where we've moved so much in terms of making sure that the Pirates and Chiefs fans sit together in the stadiums. We can't condone such behavior that's going to bring us back into situations where it really is a situation where we've got stampedes and violent things happening on the pitch. No, it can't happen. And if that's what we want as South Africa, then maybe we haven't learned our lesson. It's not right. I've grown up in this country. I know this country, and I didn't leave this country. No, I didn't go on a tourism thing, so I know what has happened in this country, and I understand everything that happens. And I might not be. Sometimes people slap me left and right. Sometimes, and they think I don't see, but I keep quiet and I move on. But you can slap me. It's okay. It's all right. But don't punch my players.
Thank you very much, and we're going to move away from the behavior.
Joe from your frame. Straight question to Ernst. Do you think that your players exhibited thuggish behavior? And to Coach Rhulani, how important is the way the team plays? How important is the way the team plays? Because there was a lot of talk when you and the technical team at Metro talked about it's not just about winning, but also how the team plays. And when you're struggling, is there a way maybe to balance that compromise and just win ugly?
Coach Middendorp, can we perhaps close this and thuggishness?
No, but you can't tell us what to ask.
Go ahead, Coach.
I have a good education, and my parents told me at a certain time, don't talk, don't start wars or fights or when you think it's not right, just show you are grown up. 1 against 1 belongs to the soccer. The number of 1 against 1 is a normal way that here and there you are winning, you are losing. That is why over the decades the institution of FIFA introduced yellow cards, introduced fouls, introduced penalties, introduced all this stuff. When something happened, I think Virgil Macarinha and Katsando was a quite heavy duel, there's no doubt about it. Actually, not good enough, but I spoke to Eric and he said he was just on the way to really protect his own players, to protect the group, going at each other, and in this moment somebody fall apart. So now, I don't think if it is a foul in the penalty area, what should the referee do? Should he go first to the opponent coach and ask, can I give it? Or should he phone somebody to say, okay, is it right? I think actually it was a very clear penalty, it was a clear foul, and something like this, to use words to describe it, I'm far away from this. I don't even use the word, what you ask in your question. I don't think it's the way how it works. There was a number of goal-scoring opportunities on both sides. There was a number of mistakes, and if I'm talking about a game of mistakes, then I'm talking about the defending and I'm talking about the attacking. And my absolutely bigger, and it's what I'm always saying, the bigger number of mistakes, back to South African soccer, the bigger number of mistakes are done in attacking, in the final third. Ask other coaches who played, for example, yesterday evening, again and again. It's fine, it's okay, but will you blame now another team that they made less mistakes, that they had fewer errors? I think mistake making is in defending, is it in attacking third, and if you take these opportunities, you score, meaning you can be happy. We see it all over the world. It's not it's not South African like in the end there is a foul is I think 96 or 97 or 94 or 88 whatever. It's a final critical phase where the foul is there. People go each other. There's a little bit of a tumult. You see it in probably Liverpool, Manchester City tomorrow evening. At 6 o'clock kick off. You see probably against Bayern München, Borussia Dortmund this evening. That's a normal way. It's in particular, if it is a derby, please guys, let's not go into it and say we want to die in politeness. This is about, and I said it in the beginning of the season, and I stick to it. It's very, very clear. We had a lot of injuries last year. Ask why? Because we just went half-hearted into the duels. And this is not soccer. Soccer is number of duels you're winning, less mistakes are you making, and then you get the result. And that is what we follow it up week in, week out. If somebody loves it, likes it, or supports it, sorry, it's not interesting for me.
Thank you, Coach.